back to the channel. Share, subscribe, like this video. Make sure you put your prayer request in the bottom. Sorry I didn't get back on last night, but I just rested. And I studied, and I went down, studied in some other stuff, downloaded some more files to look into, and talking about evil, people. This world is evil. Just the stuff I was looking into late last night, because I was trying to get caught up on everything. Today, I can see my driveway again. It's still bad, but I can actually see it. I did get out to be able to try to find some salt. Couldn't find it anywhere. Nowhere. Which doesn't surprise me. I don't know if you guys are having the same issues I am, but you can't even get it here. I tried to order it to bring it here, and they wouldn't even do that. A lot of stuff happening. Anybody watched the Super Bowl last night? Like I said, I haven't watched it in so many years, I can't even tell you. And the more I study, I would never watch it again. I would never give it 5 seconds, because it's nothing but a ritual. That's all it is. It is a ritual to Satan. That's all it is. That's all that stuff is. And I was one of those people who would not believe that years and years ago. But I'm telling you right now, the more I look into this stuff, it is pure evil. Everything, all these sports, all that entertainment, every bit of it. It is one big ritual. That's all it is. Now, I come across this. This is big news. Now, I don't want everybody panicking. Everybody, oh, we've told you this was coming. Now, this doesn't surprise me, because remember, that little digital thing went into play on the 8th during the Super Bowl. None of this stuff's coincidence. Now, China's liquidating every dollar in its banks. Now, this is being treated out by Xi himself. We're liquidating every dollar in our banks. They are one of the biggest holders of our debt, and they're getting rid of it. This was planned. We knew it was coming. BlackRock was warning us about it last week. All this stuff. World War III is coming, ladies and gentlemen. They're already, listen, I come across stuff in that Epstein files where they planned World War III. It's already planned. The date is already set. All this stuff is planned. Now, people ain't going to believe that, but I'm telling you, you got to quit saying everything's AI, because I've said it for years. They had this date planned, and it's coming. Now, Xi of China posted on social media at 1 a.m. this morning, we're liquidating every dollar in the banks. They basically declared war on America. This means we're dumping about $680 billion of U.S. treasuries. China just ordered banks to totally cut U.S. treasuries. That's not all they did. This is a dollar exit signal. The treasury market is at the base level. Now, remember, they've got it planned to take out the dollar. Even this country, all of them's in on it. They want to take it out. Remember, they're talking about a new world order. This is part of it. We told you they're going to reset it all. This is part of this evil plan that Jesus knows about. I'm just here to tell you it's going into effect. If confidence in the base layer gets weaker, the whole stack gets weaker. This didn't start today. It's been building for years, as we've said. China U.S. Treasury holds from November 2013, 1.316 trillion. Then the exit started. June 2019, Japan passed China as the top foreign holder. May 2022, 988 billion, of one of the lowest levels since 2010. November of this year, 682 billion, the lowest since 2008. Now connect the dots. From 1.3 trillion to 682 billion is not noise. It's a plan, as I said. All this is planned. Step back from the U.S. debt. Step up control at home. Reduce the dollar risk. They want all across the board, including here, wants to get rid of it, because who are they bringing in? The Antichrist. I've told you, that cannot exist. America as it is today cannot exist. That's what they're doing. And they know it, and they're getting ready for it. All right, Federal Reserve to inject liquidity. Now, the Federal Reserve will inject $8.3 billion into the markets today, making the largest single operation with $53.5 billion. Crypto then become outlawed in China afterwards. Now, this is where remember this thing we talked about the other night that we just changed over, that you right now have the option to do it, to back, this new U.S. dollar in crypto. Not coincidence. They do this today. So 98% of the people will lose everything this week. Over $1 trillion in liquidity is about to disappear. That is no longer noise. All crypto-related activity now is a crime in China. The window to react to closing fast. It's to hold crypto you must read carefully. Crypto is not recognized as money in China. Foreign crypto platforms are banned from operating inside. Now, this is what Trump just went to back the U.S. dollar. I'm telling you, this was right after it. They do this. No spot trading, no future trading, no future ET, no adoption, no exceptions. One of the largest crypto markets on earth is gone. Nearly 30% of the global liquidity came from China and Chinese traders. Now it is wiped out. And that is only the start. The big money register in China will now be focused on liquidity crypto holdings. That's over $400 billion across the market. All positions must be closed. Funds and exchanges are giving weeks of liquidity or face financial crime charges. Stable coins will now be converted to fiat, draining even more liquidity from crypto. So this is going to mean it. You're talking about inflation like you have never seen. This right here, setting up the tribulation, is what it is. This is extremely bad. And here's what most people are missing. China has now instructed banks to start selling U.S. government bonds and limit new purchases. This is a full-scale risk of a move. Crypto, U.S. debt, global liquidity. Everything is being hit, which we all knew it was coming. We already told you. We already know what these guys are doing. We know, okay? These evil people have a plan. We've told you. They've already set it aside. We already know Jesus is coming. That's why he warned us about this. We already knew. Now, BlackRock just started liquidating crypto ahead of Trump's huge announcement. They're not non-stop dumping millions of Bitcoin, and even, let's see, I can't remember, see what that says. Every minute it looks like bad news is coming. So now President Trump is supposed to be coming on right about now, or he's been on, will address rate cuts and start on money printing, because now they got to start printing money like crazy, which is going to bring all this even higher. All right, so the Iran situation, here's what we know and what I've been told today. Now, the United States has parked over $10 billion in warships, stealth fighters, Tomahawk-loaded missiles. So there's a lot of people right now talking about Israel being the leader of this. Listen, there's enough stuff over there, and we're about to get into even some more stuff that's going to blow your mind that I'm getting out of there, including nuclear superpower, 12 warships, 35 Strike Eagles, 50,000 troops, and that's not even counting all the M1A1s that's going over there now. But it gets, trust me, what I'm about to release here in a minute, it's going to blow your mind. Treasury Secretary Bassett just told the Senate that Iran's own leaders are wiring money out like crazy. We're also seeing them move out their gold. They know their days are numbered because the rats are leaving the ship. Now, this is all part of this too. This is all intertangled. The dollar collapsing, Iran, all this is Bible prophecy. All of it's tangled. These things that I believe are fallen angels, all these things are happening right now. As I've said, and I'm going to say it again, people don't believe this, but half these things are not human. Half this government is not human. Almost, I couldn't tell you how many are human. There ain't going to be many. These things, God only knows how long they've been doing this, and it's been going on for a long, long time. People today are completely oblivious to what's happening right in front of them. They look like us, but they're not us. And I'm telling you, they have a goal. And Jesus' goal is to get us out of here. Now, we're going to be pulled out of here because of what they're getting ready to do. And what they're getting ready to do is horrendous upon the world. Now, the economic road is closed. The diplomatic road is dead. We've already told you that was from the beginning. This was never a diplomatic thing. Never. It was all planned. The U.S.-Iran deadline in this Friday, Wednesday, February 11th. Today, oil is $63. If there's a peace deal, markets lower to $50. That's not what they want. If there's no deal in time, Netanyahu meets with Trump, markets spike at 70 plus. Here's the timeline of what's going to happen this week. Now, Almonds talks Monday, Tuesday, that's today and tomorrow. Round 2 begins at Muscat. If Iran arrives at the same talking points on Friday, they walk. The moment of the U.S. envoy leaves, and they already know this is done. Okay, this right here is just for people to believe that there's some kind of peace. That's all this is for. It's just garbage. Netanyahu meets Trump at the White House. If there's no signal deal, they already know it ain't. Already planned. The battle plan. Trump gives Israel the green light to initiate. As I said, all this is pre-planned. Israel targets Telegan to Parchin, the lab where detonators are designed, and the red line for Netanyahu. U.S. targets Fordo and depicts Axe Mountain. Fardo, the entrance tunnels were collapsed in 2025. But I do believe there's way more than that. With all the tanks we're sitting over there, they're going to try to take their oil fields. Now, they're not talking about that on here, but I believe they're going to try to take them, just like we just did in Venezuela. The main halls of Tenance were already destroyed in 2025, and when day passes, the peace in our time signature, the warrant begins Thursday morning around February 12th. Now, what did I tell you about that time period? I told you from the beginning of February, go back and check it. Watch around the 14th and 15th. I told you even before this month began to watch that time period, because God was telling me to be watching that time period. Keep your eyes on it. Over 100, listen to this. Here's what you need to know. Over 100 C-17s, and we can see it, people. They're pouring it on over there. Headed to the Middle East, numbers not seen since Desert Storm. Desert Storm didn't have these numbers. We've been sending stuff over there since the 12-day war. What's been over there surpasses Desert Storm 10 times over. An eye-opening and massive number of C-17 Global Master military transport and cargo planes have been observed heading to Europe and the Middle East. This also started during when the Super Bowl ritual was going on. And it's probably to do with this. The Super Bowl was part of the ritual for this. One regional weather and pundit committed in response. 112 C-17s are on their way to the Middle East, guys. That's a lot. Like Desert Storm a lot. That's way more than Desert Storm. As I said, they've already been sending this stuff over since the 12-day war. We've sent enough stuff over there to level the Middle East 700 times at this point. This is on Friday, a prominent open source of Admiral and others' public flight tracking data to tally all the huge amount of U.S. C-17s and continued are en route. A trend since mid-January. Way longer than that. It's been going on a while. Total of 112 U.S. Air Force C-17s have now either arrived en route into the Middle East, with further 17 to 18 in progress flights. A number of the Royal Air Force logistics flights from RAF Maram, they're in Cyprus, and the movement on the U.S. Air Force, the source says. Now, the C-17s are massive, and they can actually carry a submarine in them. The U.S. military lists some of the following key capabilities. Payload capacity up to 170,000 pounds. Ability to operate a short runways as small as I think that's 3,500 feet. International range with a flight, refueling, extended reach, even further rapid load. Upload designed to keep missions moving under pressure. Iran and the U.S. just concluded an initial round of indirect talks in Oman, which I told you, this stuff, that's just to keep everybody off of them. That's all it is at this point. They already know they're going to war, and they ain't going to stop, as I said. All right. Now, this is what we've been telling you about Brother John and Brother Ronnie. They've been preparing you for this, because we believe that in this mess, this is where Kamini gets run out. And expect anything else in it, okay? Don't just expect that. Expect 9/11 to be anything. Seriously, keep your eyes open. We're in that time period. EU imports to Russia's natural gas hit record highs in January. Now, also, China's gold reserve surpasses 74 million ounces, worth over, I can't even read the number. Russia's doing, we just reported that Russia did it the other night. So, when you see that, guaranteed fact, the world's in world war. That's already happening. Japan's ruling coalition led by Sanae set for a massive majority in general election. Now, I tell you what you're going to get in the next couple of days. Trump's going to come out and say us and China have a great relationship, us and Russia. Because every time this comes out, that's what they do. It's just all lies. Russian mentor Lavrov says the Epstein files have exposed the pure Satanism of Western allies. It's not just the Western allies. It's all of them. All around the world. See, people look at the Epstein files with no biblical in them. That's Satanism. They're sacrificing to Baal, Moloch, the devil himself, okay? Because that's him. That's what this was. And people don't want to say it. They don't want to see it. But that's what this was. And it shows that it's global through all these big people. And people don't want to see it. But let me tell you something. Jesus is going to come and change it. I'm telling you. We're about to leave. Judgment's coming on them. Right now, no law is going to touch them. But Jesus will. That's why we're leaving, and God's coming after them. President Trump congratulates Japanese Prime Minister on her landslide victory, which was probably already knew was going to happen. U.S. President Trump says Bad Bunny Super Bowl halftime was one of the worst ever. Nobody understands a word that guy's saying. I'll have to agree with him. I didn't see it, but I saw some of the stuff that was on Facebook of it, and I was like, I've never even heard the guy, and it was horrible. So, Taliban to grant foreign investors residency permits lasting up to 10 years. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, so right here it is. China instructs banks to reduce U.S. Treasury. So if you think that was fake, there it is. Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov says the U.S. is urging unfair tactics to dominate the global economy. Let's see. Starmer says he will not resign with the Epstein scandal, which, like I said, they're going to get away with every bit of it. That's why Jesus is coming. He's going to take care of it. These guys, listen, this is a global Satanist ring. That's what it is. That's what it is. And these people run the world. All of them. But their days are numbered, ladies and gentlemen. When we leave, judgment's going to come up on them. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance arrives in Armenia. Armed robbers attack cash in transit on a highway in southern Italy. U.S. military seizes another Russian oil tanker. See, like I said, they've got this plan, ladies and gentlemen. All I can do is warn you that it's coming. In Iran, and we followed, you will run out of fuel long before you outrun us. That's U.S. military. That's what they're talking. It says it ran, and we followed, and you will run out of fuel long before you will outrun us. So that's what they said to Russia today. But in the press, it's good between them both. Like I said, all garbage, every bit of it. The reason I sound so much sincere now is I'm more than I've ever have is because I know what's coming. I can see it a mile away. And people that are awake, God's sheep, you can see it. You can see what they're getting ready to do. Now, the FBI investigation concluded no credible evidence on Jeffrey Epstein ran a sex trafficking ring involving powerful men or blackmail. There you go. As I said, that gets them all off the hook, but not with him. President Trump and Xi to meet, and see, as I told you, every time this happens, they put an article out like that. Every time. Every single time they try to keep the markets afloat. Every single time. These people are evil. I'm telling you, beyond anything I've ever seen. Oh, Lord Jesus, come quickly. I've never seen it this bad. Everywhere. It's everywhere. So, here we go. Because I know there's going to be a lot of people, that's not real. Every time we talk about money, it's AI. China has urged its banks to curb their exposure to U.S. government debt, market volatility, and growing financial geopolitical risks. So this is mainstream media, people. This is where everybody says, my news is not good enough, but the mainstream media is always right. Lord help us. Over the past decade, China has steadily trimmed its U.S. Treasury holdings, a shift that has seen it to overtaken by Japan and the UK as the largest foreign holders of American debt, since peaking around $1.3 trillion in 2017. Beijing has advised China's major financial institutes to limit new purchases of U.S. government bonds to reduce positions. Where exposure is high, according to sources we spoke on the outlet on Monday, the guidance reportedly does not apply. Now, you're not going to find this in the news. Fox ain't going to cover this. None of them are, because they want to keep everybody dumbed down. Everything's fine. Everything's great. Until it ain't. And that's why we're here warning you. It's coming. The guidance reportedly intended to diversify market risk came ahead of last week's phone calls. See, that's their excuse. The thing is, this is bringing in the Antichrist. The dollar's got to go. That's why that thing was secretly put in the other night at midnight. All that's set up so when the dollar does go, which is what the Antichrist wants. All these people are in on it, people. That's what you don't understand. This is not China, America, Russia. Listen, if you knew truly, people around the world would know truly what was happening right now, they'd be on their knees praying. I'm serious. Because I'm telling you, they're all in on it. And they got everybody fooled. These people are not fighting with each other. They're plotting all this out. And God is warning everybody. The rapture is going to happen, and they're going to do their thing. And God's going to let them do it. Hey, these people want man for a God, and they want to worship man. God's going to give it to them. They're going to see what they get. It's going to be ash. That is what's coming, ladies and gentlemen. The dark, cloudy day is coming. Now, you that are saved, hey, sit back, wait for Jesus, because he's coming. We're about to leave this horrible, horrible, evil world. I just told you that they said there was none of that's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen to these people that have taken out all these kids all this time. If that don't tell you anything, that the world is gone, nobody's going to be able to convince you. That's been going on forever. Remember in the 80s when all those kids on the milk cartons? Well, you know where they went. And it's still going on. It hasn't stopped. Hasn't stopped. Still going on. And they still get away with it. Like I said, only Jesus can bring this all down. All of it. And he's about to. 100,000%. He's about to bring them down. All of them. And we are leaving. Trust the gospel. 1 Corinthians 15, 1-4. Jesus died on the cross for our sins, past, present, and future. He died, was buried, rose again on the third day, according to the scriptures. Trust in Jesus and Jesus alone. Confirm everything through him, and do not take your eyes off him, people. He's coming. And I'm telling you, it's very, very soon. Be ready to get out of here. Stay in the Word. Pray for each other. This is what we got to do. We hang on as a family, because I'm telling you, the world is imploding, and it's imploding quick. We will be out of here very, very soon. I think we all know it. I don't even think I have to even tell you guys. At least God's sheep, I don't have to. You know it. I love each and every one of you. If I don't see or hear from you again, I'll see you at home.